It's the 2-Point Conversion Podcast.
Hello, everybody.
With your host, TFA.
Yeah, baby.
Only on the MBL Network.
Hey MBL, welcome to another episode of TFA's 2-Point Conversion. I'm your host, TFA. I want to start off this week by thanking all you guys for all the great reviews you guys gave me for the first podcast. It was really nice to see all the feedback that you guys were giving me, and I'm glad to see that you guys loved it. I hope to continue to improve and continue to produce all the top quality content that MBL continues to grow, and I really hope to be a part of it for the extended future. I want to extend a special thanks to Bomber, Lip, and Tom for all the help and assistance that they've been giving me. They've been really great at helping me get this podcast off the ground and answering any questions that I might have. So thanks, guys. It's been a real pleasure. I love having you guys aboard, and I'm really happy that everybody enjoys the podcasts. This week's Week in Review, we're going to start off by letting everybody know that MBL is now streaming all games live on our MBL Network YouTube channel. So instead of streaming them from Twitch, we're going to have them all in one spot right there on YouTube, right there ready to go. So be sure to head over and subscribe to MBL Network and catch all of our live broadcasts right there. MBL Magazine had 3 new releases this week. The second ever cover of MBL Magazine went to Gronk and J-Moon. So congratulations, J-Moon, on getting the Gronk cover. AJ Green was on the third cover, the second one released this week. So Sonny, congratulations on that. Way to get the cover. And our fourth cover for MBL Magazine went to CJ Lawson of Wildcats and the Panthers. So congratulations, Wildcats, Sonny and J-Moon. The covers look great, and I'm really interested to see what we have in store for the future of these MBL Magazine releases. That's going to wrap up this week's Week in Review. We didn't have a whole lot to cover this week, but we're going to head right over to the 2-team rundown. This is going to be through 9 weeks. This week we did the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals to wrap up the AFC North. So we're going to start off with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Lip right now, defending Super Bowl champion, has the Steelers sitting at 6-2 and first in the AFC North. He's doing absolutely great. Everything about his game this year has just continued to improve. He's not having that Super Bowl hangover like a lot of teams have had in the past. So he's doing a really great job controlling games and winning games. Right now, Big Ben is having a pretty good season. Not quite the season that he had last season, but I think it's going to be really hard to ever top a season like that. His QBR last season was over 130, which is absolutely insane. He's sitting right now at a 126.3 QBR, so it's a little under the 130 that he was at last year, but he's still doing really, really well. He's completing about 70% of his passes. He's got 2,123 yards through 9 weeks. He's got 19 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. That 9 interceptions is getting up there to close to where he finished the season last season with interceptions, but he's not quite there yet, so I feel like he'll probably finish the season strong, and he'll end right around the same mark that he finished last season. Big Ben's currently 5th in the league in yards, so he's having a great year throwing the ball. On the ground, he's struggling a little bit. Le'Veon Bell, he's only got 97 attempts for 467 yards and 4 touchdowns. These past 2 seasons, he's had 1,000 yards rushing. He's not quite on pace to get there this season. I think that's probably going to have a little bit to do with the wide receiver trio that Pittsburgh's got going on. Antonio Brown, Martavius Bryant, and Sammy Coates have been all over the field. They're all over 500 yards receiving. They have 19 combined touchdowns, which is absolutely insane. They're really the elite trio of wide receivers, and he's really got that receiving core working well. On the defensive side of the ball, he's been struggling a little bit, but he's got a lot of younger pieces there. He's making a lot of tackles, and he's stopping teams when he needs to get the stops. So his offense is probably the top part of his game, so that's what we're going to focus on this week. As far as getting to know Lip a little bit better, Lip's 23 years old. He lives in a small farm town in Pennsylvania. So already we have Pricey Starling and Lip, two farm town guys. He's about to be a senior in college for business administration and accounting. Lip right now is actually planning on becoming the first member of his family to graduate from college. So everybody give him a big congratulations on that accomplishment. That's a huge accomplishment, and everybody in MBL, I'm sure, is really proud of you, Lip. He's currently working at a pharmaceutical distribution center, and he hopes to get hired full-time there after he graduates. Outside of Madden and outside of MBL, Lip is huge into bow fishing, and he is actually on a sponsored bow fishing team that hits all the national tournaments every year. So that's a really, really cool thing to do. Congratulate him on that as well. Lip, I really look forward to seeing kind of how these national tournaments go for you. When Lip isn't in school, he really enjoys spending time on the lake. He's relaxing with his girlfriend of 10 years now, which for somebody in college to have a girlfriend of 10 years is an absolute incredible feat. So congratulations there as well, Lip. A lot of congratulations extended your way. He's a huge dog lover. He loves dogs about 99% more than all the people that he meets, which I think is funny when he comes into NBL and he kind of runs everything. So it's nice to see that he's getting along with everybody in the NBL community, even though he's such a huge dog lover and such a big people hater. As far as the Steelers, Lip really isn't a big fan of his safeties. He thinks that the safety play has been pretty up and down since he got the beginning of the team. However, even with the lackluster play of his safeties, he was still able to capture his first NBL Super Bowl title, which he's incredibly proud about. Lip believes that what makes NBL is so great is the fact that every single owner makes an attempt to contribute and make the league a better community for everyone. Lip also would like to extend a special shout out to Bomber for all the extra time and effort he puts into the league in order to build it into what it is today. Without Bomber, we wouldn't have anything that we had today. So he wanted to take the time to extend a special shout out to Bomber, as well as the admin staff, that can help out when everything gets done, the NBL media staff, and even the guys over there running Grid to help improve the talent that we bring up into NBL whenever somebody drops out. So thank you, everybody. He also wanted to give a special thanks and shout out to Hollywood Sports. Hollywood Sports, thank you for being our partner, and thank you for continuing to do everything that you do for NBL. Next on the rundown, we're going to head over to the Cincinnati Bengals. Sonny Weaver has got the Cincinnati Bengals sitting at 6-3 right now. He's currently second in the AFC North, right behind Lip, chopping at his heels. Ryan Nassib not having a great season. He made the trade with the Giants, got Ryan Nassib, decided to go with him over Andy Dalton. Still re-signed Andy Dalton. He still got him on the team, but he's been sticking with Ryan Nassib to see how it works out. QBR right now is sitting only at a 97.3, so he's struggling a little bit with the QBR aspect. I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that he's got 20 touchdowns and 15 interceptions, so he's really right there on that 1-in-1 ratio of touchdowns and interceptions. So I think that's going to have to improve as the season goes on. He's still got 2,431 yards on the season, though, which means he's moving the ball really, really well. So far this season, a big part of the Bengals' offense has been Jeremy Hill in past years. And this season so far, Jeremy Hill hasn't really produced like we've seen him produce. He's been one of the top rushers in the league this Madden, but he's seen his carries drop this season. Giovanni Bernard has picked up about half the team's carries. He's currently sitting at 13 less carries than Jeremy Hill, but he's accounted for 48 more yards. So right now Giovanni Bernard is averaging 5.1 yards a carry to Hill's 3.8. I'm not sure if that's just a lack of production on Hill's part or if Sonny really wanted to get Giovanni Bernard a lot more touches this year and see where he was going to go. He's definitely got a nice little speed and power combo there in Cincinnati, so I'm interested to see how this finishes the season. AJ Green right now is leading the way at receiver for Sonny. He's got 44 catches for 792 yards and 8 touchdowns. He's really turning into one of the elite receivers in the league, as he always has been. And that's, I think, part of the reason he got the cover for, the third ever NBL magazine. I wanted to touch a little bit, too, for Sonny on his rookie cornerback, LaMarcus Hood. The Bengals selected him in the first round. He's currently 5th on the team in tackles, which is really surprising to see as a rookie corner. He's got 36 tackles. He's been a real big contributing part of this Bengals defense, and even though he doesn't have any interceptions, he's definitely stepping in and filling the role that Sonny really hoped that he would fill. It was really a pleasure of mine to get to learn more, about the one and only Sonny Weaver. Everybody in the league loves Sonny, and Sonny loves everybody in the league, so it was nice to kind of pick his brain and see what makes Sonny go. Sonny's currently 27 years old, and he lives in Cincinnati. So, that's kind of an understanding of why he keeps choosing the Bengals every year. Right now, he's the head of marketing for a company that specializes in security and marketing equipment. Sonny, being the ever-confident man that we all know him to be, he really hopes to be running the company by age 35, so that'd be a pretty huge accomplishment. We all know that Sonny enjoys wrestling. However, that's not his only love. He really enjoys wakeboarding, boating, and spending time with his wife. It's no surprise that Sonny loves his offense. He's the biggest offensive guy in this year's Madden. He's always right there at the top in offense, yet his defense is always right there at the bottom. He stated that it's a ton of fun being able to score a lot of points, and it's really no surprise, when he loves his offense, he hates his defense. He hates how horrible they've been. In terms of NBL, What Sonny really loves about NBL is that it isn't just about the games. It goes way beyond a couple of guys playing Madden against each other every week. It's really a tight-knit community, and it's truly created friendships that are going to go beyond gaming, and I think that Sonny speaks for everyone when he says this. I think all of us, we've created special friendships here in NBL, and it's really a great, great thing to be a part of. It's not very often that you can find a bunch of guys that you play video games with that you constantly are talking to every single day and every single week and, sharing stuff about your personal lives. So it's really cool, the community that we have here in NBL. I want to extend a special thanks to Sonny and Lip for not only sharing a little bit about themselves this week, but also for everything that they do for the NBL community. These are two guys that rightfully deserve to be in the NBL Hall of Fame. So, these guys give owners something to really, truly admire and strive to be. So thank you guys for all that you guys do. We really appreciate it here in NBL. Next week on the two-team rundown, we're going to head over to the NFC and focus on the NFC East. So join me next week when we talk about, those two teams and get to know a couple more owners. Now it's time for what I chose to be everybody's favorite last week, TFA's picks for the next 3 weeks. Are you going to be one of the contenders, or possibly someone flushed down the toilet? Or could you potentially be my pick for the game of the week? It's time to find out. Week 11, we're going to start off. Our contender pick for Week 11 is going to be Tom and his Giants versus October and his Eagles. This is a huge game for the NFC East. It could determine the winner of the division this year. Tom's already proved me wrong in my Week 8 contender game, as I picked him to lose to the Lions. This time I'm going to actually give Tom the win. I have the Giants beating the Eagles 31-21. I think October really needs this win, but I think Tom's going to pull it out. My toilet bowl game of Week 11. It's going to be Pricey's Ravens versus Delvar's Jets. I really don't know what's going on with these two teams. Pricey a few weeks ago was able to knock off the Panthers. I don't understand how in the world he's 1-8 if he was able to knock off one of the top teams in the league. And Delvar he can't seem to get his team heading in the right direction. The Jets are really beginning to fall apart, and Delvar's looking like the Jets might turn into a little Ravens situation like it did last Madden, so I really hope he turns things around. Unfortunately, I think things keep heading south for Delvar for another week. I think Pricey's going to pick up the second win of the season. I think he's going to win the game 17-21. So Ravens 17, Jets 12. 17-12. 17-12 is my pick. Ravens 17, Jets 12. My game of the week is Lips Steelers versus one and only's Falcons. This game could be a potential preview of this year's Super Bowl. I think both teams are on a roll right now. Falcons are coming off a loss a couple weeks ago to the Panthers, but I still think that they're going to be one of the top contenders in the NFC this year. I think this game is going to come down to whoever can get that last stop. I think both have really, really good offenses, so I think they're going to be able to move the ball. But I think that the Falcons are going to have a little bit harder time moving the ball than the Steelers are. So I think after predicting a Falcons loss against the Panthers in Week 9, I'm going to predict it again. And I'm going to say that Lip wins 27-21. Heading over to Week 12, we're going to get our contender game. That's going to be N-Train's Titans versus Jamzel's Bills. Now, this isn't a game at, two of the top talents in the league or anything like that, but N-Train has got his team heading in the right direction this season. He's on top of the division, and he's really fighting right now for a first-round bye in the playoffs. Jamzel is really fighting to even get in the playoffs right now after winning the division and coming on strong last year and getting a win in the playoffs. He's been struggling this season. Definitely a must-win game for him. He wants to keep up with the playoff race in the AFC. I think a loss here makes it really, really hard for him to make the playoffs. Trey, on the other hand, is in control of the division. He's looking to not only make the playoffs, but he's looking for the first time to get an actual first-round bye in this year's playoffs. So that would be great for him. I do think that Jamzel is going to keep his playoff hopes alive with a win in this game, though. I think it's going to be a close one, so I have Bills 21, Titans 20. My toilet bowl game, this isn't your typical toilet bowl game. I've got Tots Dolphins versus Bombers Lions. Now, I'm not picking this game because it's a toilet bowl game between two shitty teams. I think this is going to be an all-around snooze fest. That's why I have it as my toilet bowl game. Tot might as well keep his team on the bus at this game. It's not even going to be close. He might as well not even show up to the stadium at all. Lions are going to win 38-13. This is going to be just an absolute blowout. My game of the week for Week 12 is going to be Backley's Broncos and Draco's Rams. I think that these two are probably the most underrated teams in each conference right now. Draco's defense has been absolutely incredible, probably the best defense in the entire league and best defensive player in the entire league for a few seasons now. And Bagley just hasn't quite gotten, the recognition that he deserves this year. He's playing really, really well, and if it wasn't for the fact that he's got DK leading that division, he'd be one of the top contenders in the AFC as well. I think both teams are making the playoffs. I think Draco really needs a win here to keep pace in the NFC, though. I do think Draco and the Rams are going to get it done and win this game. So I have the Rams 17, Broncos 9. That's my game of the week for Week 12. Week 13, final week they're going to be doing this week. My contender game for Week 13 is going to be Draco's Rams versus APV's Vikings. Now, I picked Draco my Week 12 game of the week, and I think he's going to follow up that win with another win against APV. So I'm giving Draco 2 wins in back-to-back weeks, 2 really big wins that he's going to need. I think that APV really, really desperately needs this win if he's going to have any chance at even kind of sniffing a playoff berth in the NFC. But I really think that Draco's defense is going to prevail again. Rams are going to win 23-10. My toilet bowl game of Week 13 is going to be Playa and his Cardinals and OSU and his 49ers. This is going to be a battle between the bottom 2 teams in the NFC West. Neither team is fighting for a playoff spot right now, so this could determine who gets a better draft pick in this year's draft. I think Playa is going to come through overall, and I think he's going to pull this one out, giving him the confidence he needs to notch a couple wins to finish the season strong. Cardinals are going to win this game 27-14. My final game of the week is going to be Lip Steelers and Backley's Broncos. I think Backley's going to get back-to-back game of the week honors just because he is going to face 2 tough games and 2 games that are really going to define his season. I think Backley needs to win both these games against the Rams and the Steelers if he wants to keep pace in the AFC and if he wants to prove to everybody that he is the Super Bowl contender that he claims to be. So he's going to get to face the reigning Super Bowl champion Steelers here. Steelers' offense is really tough, I know from experience. This team can move the ball with ease, but my defense is also terrible. I think Backley's got a much better defense. So I think he's going to be able to keep this one a little bit close. And I think it's going to be more of an offensive shootout, though. I think that both defenses are going to kind of stay at home. But I think the Broncos' defense is going to play a little bit better than the Steelers. But I still think that the Steelers are going to lose this game. I think Backley's going to pull the upset here. I think he's really going to hurt Lip's chances for a first-round bye this year, and I think Train's going to kind of sneak up there and get that number 2 seed. I think DK is probably going to be the 1 seed in the AFC, and I think Train might sneak in there to get that 2 seed if Lip loses to Backley. So, Backley, I got you pulling this one out. I'm going to say the Broncos win 31-28 as Antonio Brown fumbles the ball on the Steelers' final game-losing drive. So I think Lip's going to be a little upset with Antonio Brown. Try to hold on to the ball, and maybe you can change the score of this game. But I have Antonio Brown fumbling the ball, and the Broncos winning 31-28. That's going to be it for this week, guys. These are my game picks for the next 3 weeks. Stay tuned. Next week, we're going to take a trip to the NFC East and get to know a few more of our owners. As always, please take the time to like and share this video. Also, if you can, please take the time to head over to 365.manandbomberleague.com as well as www.manandbomberleague.com to find everything you need to know about MBL. Also, if you guys could, please take the time to head over, if you haven't already, to the Man and Bomber League Twitter page and give us a follow. We're always doing great promotions and giveaways as well as keeping everyone up to date with the latest happenings in MBL. One last thing before we go. I want everybody to head over to our partner Hollywood Sports YouTube channel and Twitter page and check him out. He's helping us truly change the game when it comes to simulation sports, and I really appreciate having Hollywood Sports aboard. So thank you, Hollywood Sports, for everything you do. Please, everybody, make sure you head over there and like and subscribe everything that he's got going on. As always, thanks for watching this week's episode of TFA's 2-Point Conversion. We'll see you guys next week.